Okay, hold on. I gotta check if this guy was cheating. Whoa, 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 whoa. See how robotic that shit is? Yo! No, on God, this guy's cheating. He is cheating! I fucking knew it! He's so shit, too. He just fucking dinks the shit out of me here. Yeah, let's just watch this guy for a second. I'm so curious. Look at his aim on the boss. He's like so fucking brain dead that he had to like line it up. Oh, he got it. He's walling Pop's ult. He's looking at him. He kills him because he knows how low he is through the wall. Watch him shit on me here. And then I said, I don't buy it. I knew. It's actually shameless. Look, like, he has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't even know what fucking planet he's on. He doesn't know what game he's playing. But he's just staring at people through the walls. He's a fucking idiot, so he just dies. Wait, he typed. Team view remap. What the fuck did this idiot just say? Team view the map 30 sec waiting. This guy is allowed to just play the game. Look how fucking stupid he is. Report silver noob. He's going left side. Big flank out of him here. Oh yeah, big flank. Tanking everyone, gets walled. Runs into the stun, dies. Look where he is right now. We're having an urn fight, and he's just fucking jerking off in mid right now. He actually didn't participate. Oh, he's gonna type. Yes, yes! What team? Your cheats really carried you through that game. Team noob. Team noob. All right, another day, another questionable Deadlock update. So, past few days, we've had a couple of updates, some balance changes, a new item, and the biggest change being the urn. So if you didn't know, the new urn mechanic, you can melee to pick it up now, which is pretty cool. And it's no longer just standing on top of something for a specific amount of time to deposit it, which I think is a good change. And in the previous update, having the drop off on top of the mid bridge, which was pretty fun and silly and stupid. But I mean, as long as you don't care about winning the game, I guess it was pretty fun. But it got pretty frustrating for sure. It was just way too easy to snowball with how that was set up. So a few days ago, it has now been changed to where now the drop-off location is on the opposite side of the map, underneath the bridge of either the left or right lane. But probably the most important change, at least in my opinion, is going to be the fact that you can actually contest urn now at the drop-off point. It doesn't immediately just get turned into souls. On top of that, if you have a comeback urn, you get a 35% spirit and bullet resist. Don't really like that. I do think you should probably get some sort of buff, but I mean, that is an absurd amount of spirit and bullet resist. And before this, by the way, it used to be 50% on the previous urn change. So I'm not even sure how that reached live servers, but who knows. You can also use like non-movement abilities while holding the urn, which is kind of cool. I think we should keep that. I don't really like that you just turn into a cripple whenever you pick up urn. It's not really that interactive. You also get some other movement buffs, but the point is, urn has changed and changed a lot. Whether or not you agree with the change, I think it is nice that it seems we are willing to change things and try out new mechanics. That's one of the main reasons I like this game so much, is the dev team really does seem like they are willing to change. Now, unfortunately, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. There are quite a few issues I have with this urn, and there is a bug going on with it. Randomly out of the blue, sometimes in your match, whenever someone picks up and then drops the urn, when the urn is dropped and on the floor, it will straight up just DDoS the whole server, it feels like. The server will lag, it becomes pretty much unplayable, until someone picks up that urn. Sometimes you can have it to where it will continuously happen over and over again until someone deposits and gets rid of the urn. So that's not great. Another issue isn't really a bug, but instead kind of just a massive oversight in my opinion. Kelvin ult. You can just dome the urn drop off and pretty much get a free deposit, because whenever you use dome on it, it does not freeze the timer. It's a simple change. Just make it to where when he Kelvin domes it, it freezes the timer. That's it. In my opinion, I think it would be pretty cool if we revolved the urn changes around kind of a role. This game is still searching for its roles. I know the competitive scene and tourneys have kind of their P1 through 6 system and, you know, some niche roles inside of those, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the player 1 through 6 system, where player 1 has the most money and player 6 has the least amount of money. That's basically how tourneys are being played right now, which I personally think is a good system. I think that is kind of what the game should base itself around when it comes to patch notes. And I think it'd be really cool since we have 6 people compared to 5 people, which most MOBAs have. Maybe we get a role in there that literally commits themselves to earn, or at least builds around earn. I think that would be a really cool role. Maybe we could reduce, you know, the value of the earn, but make it spawn more often so that person kind of, that's their goal, right? There's a lot of stuff we could do with this game. That's why it's so intriguing and so interesting. But that by itself, I think would be pretty cool to actually have like an earn role. Of course, we do not have something like a jungler in this game. I don't necessarily think there has to be a jungler role in this game, or that we have to balance it around that. But yeah, other changes, we got some more HP per boon stuff. I've already said this before, but I think rework the whole system of HP, because most of the characters are way too tanky in this game. Actually, a pretty niche change, but it's pretty cool. The timers for medium camp spawn, but also the boxes now spawn at 3 minutes instead of 2 minutes. It's kind of cool. You get to fight a little more before doing your box runs. Oh, and of course, the removed jump pads on the left and right sides of the map. I am one of those people who thinks jump pads should just be removed from the game. If that were the case, then I do think we would have to implement some sort of recall system, and we're doing the classic increasing the resistances for all the towers. I still think the towers in this game just kind of need either a rework or just a really large buff, because they just aren't as threatening as they need to be. Mid-boss spawning at the beginning of the game hasn't really changed anything that I've noticed so far. Big change here, total damage reduction. Debuffs now stack diminishingly. This is gonna nerf Mirage and Inhibitor, which are both ridiculously strong ability / item. We got some new investment bonuses, which is nice. And of course, we have the new tier 1 vitality item, Grit. It's kind of a niche item, and I still think you're just gonna get better value out of getting something like regen or healing right. With that being said, it upgrades into a lot of things I'm happy about. Not necessarily because of the item itself that it upgrades into, but we are actually adding an item that has more upgrade paths. That's what this game needs. One of the biggest changes right now character wise is Apollo's riposte got reworked. It no longer allows him to just have his free escape tool. I think a much better rework of Apollo's riposte would just simply to keep the system that it has, but instead he's only allowed to riposte 180 degrees in front of himself. This would kind of get rid of the fact that basically every Apollo just saves it for a free get out tool, and instead you have to actually use it somewhat offensively. Another change, Bebop's gun no longer does an ass load of damage, so that's good. Let's talk about Graves real quick. I think this character is probably a top 5 character, at least in my opinion right now. Whether or not, you know, if we're talking about super high elo, I think that's a different story, but this character inherently doesn't have a very high skill ceiling, and when you make her this strong, I think it's kind of bad for the game. Lash got some changes, but I still think he's among one of the strongest characters in the game. His gun still does a shit ton of damage. If anything, this just kind of makes Spirit Lash more viable than it was last patch, which is how it should be. Mina got a big nerf this patch. You won't explode as much to her ult, which is really nice. Pocket is still extremely strong. Rem this patch actually got a lot of buffs. I still think he's pretty weak. Shiv got a bunch of nerfs. I still think he's Thanos. That's just me. I think this character will always be strong as long as you can do his right-click movement tech. I think that just needs to be removed from the game. There will be many Shiv players who disagree with that and think it's the coolest thing in the game. I encourage you to play against it. It's not fun. And it sometimes feels like buying Disarming Hex instead of Slowing Hex is a better pick against him. Yamato feels pretty strong this patch, but I can't necessarily say she's broken or super strong or anything like that. Still waiting on that skill shot change for her flying slash, maybe one day. But yeah,